Greetings everyone, it's Gryver here, going through a game replay of my own for the Richelieu, the Tier 8 French battleship. I am in a division with Puddin 597, he is in a Cleveland. I've had a lot of questions lately about the Richelieu being a difficult ship to play. So I decided to make this replay. We're mid-tier, we're up or bottom tier actually, because the enemy have a midway in Venezia, so we're tier 8s against tier 10s and with a smattering of 9s and 8s. So seeing that they've got a CV and that there are some other boats, we're heading straight towards Charlie. Now in case you're wondering, I've got a 10-point captain only on this Richelieu and the build looks like this. So here you can see the build, more vigilance, concealment. It's an odd build, I admit. It's not what I would normally do with a French battleship captain, but I suppose I got tired of eating torps, so torps are there. I don't think this is the right captain build, but here's what's on my Richelieu and it seems to work at the moment. So opening salvo out at the gear, very lucky to get the one penetration. I like the French battleships. They're very zoomy. Their firepower's in the front, so you don't have to reverse. I hate that reversing tactic, though at times I do use it if that is the perceived best course of action. But where I can, I try and use my speed to my ability. Taking pot shots at these vessels that are coming through outside of Charlie. They seem to be showing a little bit of side, so if I can get some lucky hits I'd be very fortuitous. 3 over pens and a pen there on the Venezia. So Ostergotland looks like he's securing Charlie. We've got a Moskva as well in a rear end position. It looks like, don't know, it looks like they're trying to commit to the secure, or they're starting to angle out. We have torpedoes coming in, so that must be the enemy Ostergotland. He hasn't been detected. Their Z46 was towards Bravo. Their mass has committed to going into the cap. I must admit, this game I got wonderful dispersion from my Richelieu. The guns were on point. They were on point. Especially, there will come a moment where they did not fail. So at this stage I really was concerned. I had put myself into a wrong position. Midway's dropping me. They've got lots of vessels now pushing in. Ostergotland, Venezia, Anchorage, Mass, and a Georgia. So yeah, at this point I thought I had made a massive mistake putting myself into this position, because the rest of our vessels seem to be disengaged. Lucky kill there with rockets, or well-timed kill on the Z46, so one less DD. Georgia's showing me a lot of side. Just under 25,000 on the Georgia. I was pretty chuffed with that. He gave up a lot of his hit points there. And the obligatory couple shells and get an automatic fire. How often does that happen to people though? In any game where you hit enemies non-stop, no fires, they get one lucky salvo off on you, and it's a fire or double fire. That has happened to so many people over the journey. So the Venezia looks like he's coming south. We've got the Buki, they've got the Fletcher Ostgotland, so we've got a few ships that his sap could really punish. We did lose a Georgia to the Oster. Two pens, one reset. I actually thought, I was hoping the Venezia would be foolish enough at this stage to fire his torpedoes, but he did not. He did the clever thing, he used his smoke to actually get out from under my guns. Though he didn't fire torps at me, for which I was grateful. He may not have had the best angle. Now I see the enemy Massachusetts here on 493, so rather than pump a double salvo, I fired a 1. And then I see the Georgia showing me a bit of side again.
You're not so tough.
And another 17k, the Richelieu guns loved me this game. At this point I'm already turning my guns thinking he's on fire, he's burning out. The team really should be able to deal with him up north. And the Audacious had damage over time. Venezia looks like he's now decided to get out of dodge, and these are when the Richelieu guns, look at this salvo, the Richelieu guns do not let me down. Snapshot, mere moments, clears most of the island, and double citadels. That alone made this game worthwhile, just destroying a Venezia. He was close, he was probably too close for the amount of firepower that we had available to focus into him. Now, looks like we've been towed up at Alpha ourselves. Looks still fairly close. They've got a Tirpitz on Bravo, and that was a heavy salvo from a cruiser. And the Ostgotland is still threatening our vessels up north. It looks like the Alaska and Puddinese Cleveland are dealing with him though. So my aim here was to push roughly into north side of Foxtrot 6, that island, and nose into Bravo, so deny them the cap and also get a few cross shots on those BBs coming up. And then the Donskoy arrives. The Donskoy nearly departed, but he did not. Not too bad. I'm getting some AA hits on the Midway plains, but I have not done any specs into AA on this 10-point captain. No BFT even. That would probably serve me well, but at this point in time I haven't. Lucky to get that salvo there. So seeing the minimap, I'm really concerned that the Sawyers or the Jean Bart will open up on me, because I'm showing him complete broadside. One more cheeky shot. I don't finish him. There we go. Sawyers. Nearly. 3 overs, 1 pen. And this was the angle I was hoping to get. Here you can see the Jean Bart. He is reversing. Oh, infamous moment. I take a torpedo to the rear. Apparently it's something that I don't excel at, if anyone watches this clip or any of the Twitch clips that were taken. So sort of aiming right towards the bottom, hoping for either a citadel or if it has a bit of dispersion, up about. And that's not a bad salvo for a Richelieu's. Low hit points here, I'm under 10,000. I zoomed in, I wanted this kill, and I fired even though it looked like the entire team, yeah, if I held on, could have saved my salvo. I'm really surprised that the CV did not focus me. He went for the Moskva. I have recently... He's got a torpedo into me. He knows I'm low health. If he got a fire onto me, it would literally make me combat ineffective, but maybe seeing them, there are easy targets. I am right next to a mountain. Turpit's coming in now. No good thing can come from this, I'm sure. Oh, Soyuz goes down. I like that, the dropping sounds for the bombers from the Audacious there. Could have foolishly gone through now. I'm keeping him lit and vice versa via proxy. Here I am seeing the gap between the rocks and I thought, oh, maybe my guns can make it. Nah. Most OP thing in the game, rocks and islands. No shell will go through. You will be denied. You shall not pass, says the island. Donskoy is trying to get some shells onto me. Only nice thing is we do have a really tight knit of AA between myself, the Grosser. You got a Moskva, you've got an Ostergotland, and any strike the Midway puts upon us right upon this moment is going to be a difficult task. The Ostergotland fires torps. It's not his fault that we were pushing forward when that happened. He would not have anticipated myself or the Grosser kept accelerating. And then the Donskoy fired. 747 little hit points left. Beautiful secure here. Not secure, I did enough damage. If he gets a fire, oh yeah, look at that. One salvo, gets a fire. It's gonna burn for another 45 seconds. But I thought this was a great game. Putin's still alive, and then their CV comes up, it's like, oh. This is the moment everyone plays for. It doesn't matter if you're a cruiser, battleship, or destroyer. You see a CV towards the end of the game, and you're like, I'm gonna have some fun. That salvo missed. Did not do it justice. That was probably the first wonky dispersion I've had. I've had some pretty tight groupings this game. He's showing me a fair chunk of side. These actually look good. Ooh, 8.5, 2 pens, 2 over. At the moment I'm sitting on 140,000. Bottom tier, I think this has not been a bad game. I've used up all my heals, used up nearly all my consumables, speed boost, managed my DCP with the 8 barrels of the guns in this fashion. The Richelieu, like any vessel, when she's well supported, like the teams don't leave you in the lurch by running away, or you get that support or a little bit of focus fire as we did at Charlie, because we all did our damage into the enemy. It's an easy boat to play. She can be a lot harder, like any vessel. If you're focus fired by the enemy, you've got to go dark and disengage and pick your targets wisely. And here we go. I do end up killing the CV. I don't remember if it's this shot. It is that shot. Beautiful game. Thank you for watching the replay, and hopefully you have enjoyed that Richelieu game.